Why do men take so long in the bathroom? And maybe Tom has to poop because he's nervous.
We're down here?
Yeah, we're just gonna do it down here. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
I'm scared.
Just sit down. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Alright guys, so here we are 1700 years later. The video everybody's been waiting for, Q&A with Tone. Let's start with Tone's name is not Tone, it's Anthony. Everybody asks me what is your name, what if your name is Tone? I just always call him Tone. Your mom calls you Tone.
Yeah.
But when I met Tone, everybody called him Tony, and I hated it. So I was like, I'm not calling you that.
Nobody even calls me that anymore.
Okay, so I decided to just do a Q&A because I know so many people have so many questions about us and our relationship and getting back together, and actually our whole relationship, because Tone has never really been on camera. He doesn't love it.
It's the first time.
It's the first time. I mean, you guys have seen him in videos, obviously, when I started my channel, and we used to live in New Orleans, but he's just not, he doesn't love the camera.
Yeah.
But he's willing to do this for us. Not for us, but for you guys. Like for you and me. So, yeah, no, we just wanted to sit down and kind of like answer your questions and just give you a better understanding of what happened. If it's your first time here, we have been together for almost 11 years. We met
12.
Almost 12 years. 21. We met when we were 21. And it's been a roller coaster of ups and downs. It has not been a perfect relationship at all. But here we are, almost 12 years later. And if you've been following me for a while, you knew that we were together. We moved to New Orleans. That's when I started my channel, and then we decided to split up, and we've been split up for a little bit. And we recently just decided to work on things and get back together. So that's kind of like everything in a nutshell. But we're just gonna go into depth and ask your questions and answer your questions, as many questions as we can. But just wanted to give you an intro in case you are newer to my channel. So let's go ahead and get started. There's a lot of questions that they're repeated or are kind of like the same question in different ways, so I'm just not gonna go through all of them because we also don't want this video to be like an hour long. But if we see that this video is getting super long, we might just do a part 2. Let's just start with the questions.
We're just gonna go down.
Yes, we have tons and tons of questions. So, love that you guys are back together. What made you realize to give it another try? You start because go ahead.
What was that question?
What made you realize to give it another try?
I just knew, I don't know, what made me realize,
This is why he's not on camera much. Guys, this is gonna take forever. Okay. Again, this is why I do not record.
We can start with
that is an easy one. Okay. Do we plan on moving somewhere else? Now that we're back together?
Maybe.
Maybe?
If work. That's
no, I don't think they mean like out of town.
Oh.
We are moving. We want to buy a house.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Do we want to buy a house? Okay,
well, yeah.
That's what they meant.
Oh, yeah.
What work did you put in while we were separated? That's for you, Tone.
What work did I put in?
You put in while we were separated?
I just try to work on myself as best as I can. I try to stay busy with, you know, doing positive things, working out, staying busy with work. I don't know. I just worked on myself the whole time.
Okay. Were you and Tone secretly seeing each other before you told family? No. We were never secretly seeing each other. One thing that
She hated me, actually. Truth be told, she hated me.
I didn't hate
She
him.
actually disliked me a lot, which I don't know why, but she didn't like. She hated me, and it was, and everyone thought that we were seeing each other behind, you know, on the low, but we really weren't.
I did not hate him. I did not hate him, Tone.
I couldn't even grab her butt.
I did not hate him. However, because our relationship has been like a roller coaster for a very long time, like this is not the first time we separate.
Yeah. But this was the first time we separated, and it was like,
for a long time, and it was like completely.
This may be it.
Exactly. So for me, it wasn't that I hated him. It's just that at that point, I needed to draw a line between us. Like it could not be, oh, we're gonna split up, but we'll still hang out, but we still do this. We were always together, but it was strictly co-parenting. I mean, I'm sure sometimes he was like, oh, come on. Yes, he was. But I just completely made it clear that it was not a thing. And I told you guys this tons of times, and I told you tons of times, I'm never getting back together. Like, this is it, we're done. And I just made sure to draw that line between us, just because I wanted to co-parent as smoothly as possible, and I just didn't want that to get in, you know. And as girls, I feel like you just gotta separate the two, because if not, you can't make the right decision. So it's not that I hated him, I just knew that I needed to draw a line.
Yeah.
How did Tone feel about the breakup?
At first, I was like, yes, like that. Not yes, but at first, I just felt like it was a big stress relief. I didn't have to worry about whether we were gonna get into an argument, whether we were gonna get into an argument, whether we weren't gonna get along that day, whether someone was gonna annoy whatever the case may be.
I think that towards the end of our relationship, before we split up, we had just been so bad, like fighting and up each other's throats, that
other's throats.
Alright, he's always correcting me, but I mean, I guess I need that in my life. Anyways, we were just so over each other. Like, we were so bad, things were so bad, that I think we were both like, God, finally. Like, finally, we won't be fighting, it's done. So, the funny thing is that even after we broke up, we took this road trip here. And we had fun in the road trip. That's the thing with me and Tone. Like, we always have fun, even though we could be like, so over each other. Like, we were so over each other when we broke up. We were like, good, I don't want to be with you, you don't want to be with me, we're not happy together. But then we take a trip and we like have fun. Yeah. So that's the thing between us. But yeah, I think at the beginning we were both like relieved. What made you guys get back together? I think you should answer that.
What made us get back together? It was COVID. It was good because,
but not because of you.
It was like March of last year, and we had to. That's when they shut everything down in PA. I really couldn't go out and travel for work like I normally do. And then I was here. I would come here pretty much every day, and we played cards, and I'd hang out with P a lot more during the day. And then just that, spending time with you guys, it made me miss you guys. So.
Tom, what made you realize that Juliana it was worth saving your relationship besides P?
Because she's a great person. She's my best friend, and she's not the only person, but she's the first person that'll be there for me. I know if I'm in a pinch. So.
That's for sure.
And she's a great mother and a great person.
Do you guys plan on buying a house in PA?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
hopefully soon we'll be buying a house here, and then we'll see from there. We don't really plan too much ahead, because you never know. I never in my life thought I would live in Louisiana, and I did. How long were we separated? So we were separated for almost 2 years. However, in the time that we were separated, when we decided to separate, we were still living in Louisiana. So we separated, but we were still living together until we figure out how to get us all up here to PA. And then once we moved here, we both lived with his parents until we found places to go. And so that was like 4 months. So we were still living together. And we always stayed close. I mean, you guys always saw and saw us in videos together and stuff. Well, not saw him, but you knew. If you have more kids, how many does Tone want?
Just one more. Just one more.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I'm back and forth, right? Some days I'm like, let's have another baby. Some days I'm like, I don't know if I could do another baby. But I think we
want one more at least.
He definitely wants one.
Yeah. She's gonna have another one, obviously.
But I do want to give one to P. Like, I want P to have a sibling, so I guess there's probably going to be a baby number 2. Okay. What changes or adjustments have you guys made this time around?
Go ahead.
We started doing therapy, couples therapy. So I think that was a huge step. Couples therapy was something that I mentioned before we separated as like a last try to maybe try to fix things between us before we separated, even though at that point I didn't want to, but I just felt it was what I needed to do for Penelope. Bless you.
That COVID's coming back.
Can you? What was I? What was
we were
I
talking about? Oh, and I actually went to therapy on my own, and I said to her, "Wow, it's amazing," because, like she said, it was the last resort, and I didn't want to do it. I was like, "No, I don't believe in that. Whatever." So that was one of the things I did to improve upon myself. I went to therapy, saw someone one-on-one, and then I recommended, wow, I saw the positive effects from it and the effect it had on me. And I told her we should do it because I think it would help communicate. Not that we don't really communicate, but it would help from another perspective how we communicate, because sometimes we misunderstood each other and what we were trying to get across to one another, which is why we broke up, because in New Orleans I didn't understand that she had some, not issues, but she was going through, her women issues that women go through after they have a baby.
Postpartum.
Yeah, postpartum, and I didn't understand that, and I was stressed out at work, and not in a bad way, but just I had a lot of stuff going on, and on top of us being alone and just having nobody around, that also, played a factor into it as well. But that's kind of what I did to,
Yes,
that's what I've been doing, what we're doing to
him
work
starting
on it.
therapy on his own was a very huge factor on me saying yes to giving it another try, just because I know in the past he would have never ever gone to therapy. No matter what I would have said, he was like no. So when he decided to go to therapy, I was like, wow. And he has changed so much, like it has really helped him. And I knew that therapy will help us, because sometimes I feel like, again, we have always gotten along so well, like as friends, and we're always there for each other. And I feel like therapy, like what therapy I was hoping to get from, is a way to find a way to communicate with each other better, and for him to understand. It's kind of like a middle person, that could that doesn't know us as a couple, and that is not like his friend or my mom or his mom, and they could kind of be like, listen, you're wrong, this is what you need to do, this is how you. So I think that was huge for us, and one of the main things that we are doing to make things work this time around. Why is Tone on YouTube and IG a lot more now than before?
I signed a contract. 5-year deal. 5-year deal.
He signed a contract. No, I'm kidding. Seriously, why?
No, because one of the things I didn't do when we were together in the past was I supported you and stuff, but I feel like if I, was more involved, I don't have to be like a regular. I don't want to steal all the thunder from you, but if I helped a little bit and was more involved, I don't know, I feel like that would make her happy, and she would appreciate that. So that's kind of why I'm in there.
You see guys?
And you all wanted me to show up, so I showed up.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, I told you.
I showed up because I show up and I show out.
Okay. Did Tone try to date anyone else while you were separated?
No.
That was the question. That wasn't for me. It was for
No, I didn't. I went out on dates, but I wasn't trying to go out on dates. Like, or I wasn't trying to date anyone. Like, I wasn't seeing anyone.
He always knew that I was the one, but he obviously had to go on some dates. No, I think we both went on dates, and I think that also made us realize that there really was no like.
Yeah, because when I like to go on a date, and I like to be relaxed. Like, I don't want to have to think about what's the other person thinking of me right now. Like with you, we go out to dinner and we just relax and have fun. And
I think
that's what I would do when I would go out on a date. I would always measure it up to how it would be when you and I went out on a date, and I would try to match that, and it never matched that. So that's why we're here.
Yeah, I think dating too made us realize that like maybe
she can't live without me.
The other way around, please. But no, I think it does make you realize that you're like, maybe you should try harder with this than try to find something else, because I feel like I am, for at least speaking for myself, I was just so over our relationship and so over us that I think when I did try to date, I was looking for things that I knew I was missing, or like certain things like that I wanted for my future, or you know, like when you think about it, and that I didn't get when we were together. So I feel like as a girl I was like, okay, I'll date and then I'll meet someone, but then I felt like it didn't, you know, like it didn't happen like that, and it just doesn't happen like that. I feel like maybe you felt the same, like maybe if I date I could find someone, but I feel like it just makes you realize that
it doesn't really do much.
Yeah. With Juliana, what made you decide to give it another try with Tone? So I think I was just, because this time around I just felt like it needed to be done. I just literally, it took me so much time, and this is what I told him, it took me so much time to be okay with that just being done, just because we had been together for so long. Like for so long we had just tried to make things work, and we have been with each other, that I just felt like this time I needed to completely disconnect from Tone and just kind of like close that door, and I did. So once he came to me and he was like, I think we need to work things out and like we should be together, I was a little hesitant about it, just because I have heard this from him before. What?
You weren't hesitant at all. You were just like, no. No.
Well, because this is the thing, like I said, we have separated before, and girls, you know, like whenever you separate with someone and they want to get back with you, they will say all the right things, and Tone always said the right things when it was time to get back together. Look, or we were like, you know, he knows what to say and he says the right things, but he would just never follow through with them. And I felt like now, before like we got back together, I was at a good place in my life as a person. Like I had worked on myself, and it took me a long time to be okay with us being broken up, just because I had been with him for so long. And I was finally okay, like being on my own. Not that, I mean, I've always been okay with being on my own, but I was doing good. So I just didn't want to get back together and have it be the same as it used to be. I just didn't want that. And I always told him when we broke up, I said, we are never getting back together. We're not going to be back and forth anymore, because I don't want Penelope growing up with like this. I told him this plenty of times. So to me, I was just very hesitant to get back together, just because I was like, I don't know. Like, I know you want to get back with me, but there definitely has to be more of an effort, so I am certain that things will be working out. So once he started actually showing, like it took a while for me to even start to think about getting back together, and I feel like I just saw the changes in him, and not only me, but like my family saw the changes in him. Like we all saw changes, huge changes in him, going to therapy, you know, working on himself. So that's when I started to
stop eating meat.
He's also well, he eats meat, but not as much as he used to. What did your parents think about y'all getting back together? In-laws?
My parents loved it, obviously. My mom loved it.
My parents, I think they're very happy, just again because they have seen so many changes on Tone. I think my dad wanted us to be back together. Like, he wanted me to be with Tone. He wanted us to be together. And, you know, I'm his daughter, so he wants me to be taken care of. And, you know, Tone is Penelope's dad. So my dad had a very hard time with us breaking up. He doesn't say much. He's very quiet, but I knew, my mom told me he did have a hard time. My mom loves Tone, but she was hesitant because she knew how much, like, how bad things got between us, and just like how we will fight a lot. So she just didn't want us to go through that. But seeing the changes on Tone, she was also very happy. Everybody's happy that we're back together. Are you and Tone the same age? Yes. Tone's birthday,
I'm older.
He's like a month older. His birthday's at the end of October and my birthday is at the end of December, 87. So we're just like a month apart. Biggest pet peeve about each other?
You can go on. I gotta think about that. There's too many.
He doesn't have a pet peeve. My pet peeve about Tone is he is messy. Like, he does not pick up after himself, and it drives me crazy. He's gotten better, but I just have to nag him about it. What's yours?
My pet peeve.
I know, I'm pretty perfect. Okay.
I don't know. That's a good question.
There is no
my
pet peeves.
peeve. My pet peeve. I don't know. I'll have to, I can think of. I'll come back to that.
It's okay. It's just I'm that perfect.
I'll come back to that.
How did your parents feel about it? Besides P, what brought you two back together?
True love.
I guess so.
What brought us back? I don't know. What brought us back together?
I think just life always seems to bring us back together. What do you dislike about Tone?
Nothing.
No, I'm kidding. Nothing. Just that he's messy. Other than that, I don't dislike anything. What was the point that you decided that you guys officially needed to separate? So, yeah, I guess, but it's just like, what was the point that made it? I think it was that October before your birthday, things just were really bad. And we sat down. I think we used to fight all the time and be like, just leave, you know, or just like, I don't want to be with you anymore. And I think one time we sat in the living room and we were like, are you happy?
Yeah.
And he was like, no. And I was like, I'm not happy either. Like, I really think it's time we just split up.
And we split up.
And that's when I think we were just like, we both knew that it was time to walk away. How is Tone when dealing with Colombian sassiness?
Colombian sassiness?
Yeah.
I actually dealt with it for so long that it's just second nature now. I just learned to accept it. Her dramatics. That's a pet peeve. Sometimes she's so dramatic and like too dramatic, like over dramatic. You're over dramatic a lot of the times, but it's okay.
He's dramatic too, you guys. Yeah. Don't let him fool you. He's dramatic too. What made me give him a second chance? What made me give him a second chance? A lot of it was Penelope. I just know that no matter what, I don't think I'll find someone, well, I know I won't find someone that will love Penelope the way her dad loves her. And Penelope loves Tone, like she loves him, and they just have such a good relationship. And life as a family, it's easier. It's just, I'm not built to be single. I mean, no, I mean, there's people that love being single. I mean, and I like being on my own. That's my thing. It's not the single part. I love being on my own. I've been on my own for a very long time. Like me and Tone didn't move in together with each other until like 4 years of dating, right?
Yeah.
So I always lived alone and I loved it. Like, I don't have a problem with that, but it's just nice to be a family. And I felt like if we broke up that many times before and things were bad and I got back together, why wouldn't I just give it another chance for Penelope and for our family? So I think that's what made me changed my mind. Dream vacation destination.
I don't know, there's a bunch of places.
Mine is Bora Bora and Greece. I want to go to Bora Bora and Greece.
There's a bunch of places I want to go.
I mean, yes, I would literally go anywhere you ask me to. Like, if it's a place I've never been, I will go. I'm down to fly anywhere, but
maybe like Fiji or like Turks
Bora Bora.
and Caicos.
Yeah, I want Bora Bora and Greece. What do you think is the hardest thing you both as a couple had to go through?